So now I'm getting towards the back of the head. So I'm going to go ahead and take my last clip down because I'm going to incorporate these strands together because I want to be able to just move through this section. And as you can see, I'm about to complete my mohawk section. So I'm going to go in and continue to take those 90-degree sections. Remember, I told you it's going to be 90 degrees, so I need to hold this straight from the head at 90 degree. Okay, that's going to give me that medium volume. Secured with my glue, which is my lotion. Roll down, making sure that I control my strand with my fingers and making sure that I pull the hair as I roll it down to create a nice, smooth, perfect curl. So this is going to be about my last roller that I actually used a 90 degree. And there's a couple of different ways you can tell. Here, let me show you something. So you see my hair is here. So when I take my strand using my scissor fingers and I slide my roller underneath it, I go ahead and scoop my hair and bring it around so that it can glue, but I also take it and twirl it a couple of times just to make sure that that hair is stuck on that roller and is laying down even if there's no fish hooks. So once I've done that, I go in and I start to roll down to the base, rolling down to the base until I get to the base and then clip it. So a couple of different ways you can tell whether you are on track with what you're doing is by the spaces in between your rollers. So as you can see, all of my spaces between my rollers are pretty much even. Okay, so if I had a gap in between two of these rollers, that means one was too much on base and the other one was too far half base. Or if they're jumbled up and on top of each other, a lot of times that can mean the bases are wrong too, but it also means that my section sizes are too small. And that can also happen with space too. If my section sizes is too big, you'll be able to tell. So I want you to pay attention to those things. So the bottom of my hair is a little bit dry, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of my sculpting lotion just to saturate it and make it easier to comb and to roll. Continue taking the same section sizes. I'm going to gauge this because I am a little bit further down and I can't really see it, and that is too big, so I'm going to take a little bit off. So now, like I said, I'm going to start angling my strand of hair closer between a 90 degree and a 45 degree. Okay, so you see, now I'm starting to drop the degree of volume so that it's not so full in the bag. Okay, take another section, making sure you stay true to your section sizes, even when you get in the nape area. You don't want to start cheating and taking bigger section sizes. Okay, so you see a little bit further down at a 45 degree angle. Insert my clip at my base. And now this last roller, this is going to be a true 45. And I can still use a bigger size since my section size is still a little bit big in the center. So making sure, roll it to the base. And once you secure this last roller, take a look so you can make sure you're securing it to the base. Because if not, then there's no hair down here. You see in this area. So you can't secure that. So this way you have to go just a little bit higher, but make sure it's in the base so that it's nice and secure. So I turn this around. Now I'm going to go ahead and start on this section. I'm going to start on this section because I don't want to block myself in. I don't want to go here and then have to work, you know, between two sets of rollers to create a panel on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of my product in that section. And just so that I can work fluidly, I am going to add a little product to this section. And as you can see, I'm using less than a teaspoon. I'm just barely using a couple of drops, and a couple of drops on damp hair go a super duper long way. All right, so I comb this down. Now, because this is the wider area of the hair, yes, these sections will be a little bit wider than your roller, but that's okay. I can still control the hair going to the center of the roller with my fingers, and you'll see what I mean. So notice how small or how narrow this portion of the hair is. Here, let me lean it over a little bit further. So if I go in and I create a horizontal section here, that's pretty thin. So you're going to have to be careful where you place your roller at, especially if you're using these pin curl clips, which I don't normally prefer to use pin curl clips. I prefer to use roller clips. But since this is what I'm working with, I make do, okay? And that's what you'll have to do. So you're gonna go ahead and continue to take horizontal partings, no vertical, no diagonal, okay? Horizontal parting so that you can keep your rollers all aligned. So I'm gonna take that horizontal parting, and again, I want pretty much medium volume in this area. This is where all of my volume is living, here on the top. So if I want to have medium volume here, I'm going to go in and hold this hair 90 degrees from this section, okay? And actually I'm going to go in and hold it just a little bit higher than 90 degrees, just so that I won't have any gaps between these two, and so that my volume flows evenly and it doesn't have any gaps or spaces. Because you know the comb out is the comb out is, I'm sorry, just let me get this product off my hand, because I not only product, I have strands of hair all in my hand that I needed to get off. But what determines my comb out is my shampoo set, is the way that my hair is set. So in order to make sure that you have a great comb out, your shampoo set has to be great as well. So again, I'm going to go in, hold this hair straight up, making sure that I get that volume in here, that fullness, roll down using both of my fingers, and land there on base. Okay, so now that I'm getting closer to the side of the head, now I'm not going to be so close on base. I may extend it a little bit to where I'm half base. Okay. All right, making sure I direct the strand so that it stays in the middle, all the way down, until I touch the base. Now this is what I mean by the base being bigger than your section, but you can still make sure, see how that base is bigger, but it's not going over the roller. You see that? So that's okay as long as your hair lives within those 1/4 of an inches on either side of your roller. And all of that is control. Great finger dexterity, hand and eye coordination is what the students develop in core. And I make sure I focus on it because it's so important that the students control their fingers. That's the only way they're going to be able to do hair for years without it ever affecting them. Okay, so again, roll down to that base, controlling that hair all the way down, and then secure it. So now I'm about to go down to the narrow part of the neck. I'm going to do one more full size roller, and then these two I may go in with a smaller size roller. And again, dropping my elevation a little bit. No need to have a high elevation if I don't need that much volume in this area. So secure my roller with my clip. And now I have 2 more sections to go. And again, I could use a bigger one in this area simply because she has a lot of hair, but I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and show you with a smaller roller that fits perfectly in that area. And secure to the base. One more curl on this side, and I'm going to secure that to the base. And actually this is a really small roller here. So again, up a little bit higher, but still to the base. Okay, so I have that side done and the back done. So now I just need to work on the front. Okay, just drop a little bit on the top of the strand. And once you drop a little bit on the top, it'll just work its way down to the ends. You don't really need to pour a lot on. All I do is comb it through to the ends. You see my product still in my comb, going all the way down to the ends. Okay, so like I say, see my product all the way down to the ends. See how it just kind of, that hair just sucks it up. So no need to go in and put a lot of product. So again, I'm going to take a section the size of mine, and actually I'm going to take this clip and put it on the opposite side so that I'm not fighting to fit those in over here. And you're going to notice, depending on your client's head size, the hair density, the head shape, a lot of those things will determine how your rollers actually come out, because no 2 sets will ever be the same. Even if I do 2 sets on this doll head, they will never be the same. Okay, so don't feel like you're doing something wrong if your sets don't come out the same, because like I said, it all has to do with very precise partings, which is not so necessary when you're doing this. It's just good to be accurate, but not so precise. It's hair. You're going to comb it out when it's done. So it's not like they're going to be walking around with the rollers in their head. So once it's combed down, all those sections are blended in. So you don't really notice exactly how you set it. But there are little indications when you don't set it the right way. Okay, I feel like that one is a little bit off. So I slid it up, re-rolled it down, perfect. I feel like that looks good. All right, so it's my first one. Okay, that's what it is. That section is a little bit small, so let me yep, it's a little bit small. So I need to make that section, because normally only 3 rollers fit on this side. And I don't want to go so far down that I don't have room to fit the last roller in. So I'm going to make sure to try to get this as close to possible as far as the section sizes are concerned. And remember, you want to keep on combing that hair up as you roll down to make sure it's as smooth as you can get it on the roller. Okay, roll it to the base. Secure. Section. Elevate. 90. So since we only have 3 rollers in this area, this is a great time to show you what I mean by elevation and bases. So you see this roller here sits directly on its base. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer so that you can see exactly what I mean. And this is what State Board used to look for back in the day when we were doing roller sets. So as you can see, gosh, I wish I could Okay, so you see the parting here. So you see how this roller is sitting directly on its base within that parting and that parting. Okay, but you see with this one, comb this hair back, you see the parting is underneath. So it's half on and half off. That's what they mean by half base. So on base, half base, and with this next one, you're going to see where it's going to be off base. Okay, so I go in, secure it, roll it. Now you see that? You see where my base is underneath here? That's my base, and you see how it's hanging. The majority of the roller is definitely off the base, then on it. So I have to go and secure it a little bit higher to attach it to the base. So now we have full volume, medium volume, no volume, on base, half base, off base. Okay, full volume at the top because that's where you want the volume at, the maximum amount. You still want it to be a little bit rounded on the side. You don't want it to drop off to nothing. So you still want it to be rounded on the side. So this is where your medium volume come in at. And this is no volume because you want to have that longevity of our hair. Like I said, never will you comb this hair upward because it's going to give you maximum volume. It'll sit out too far. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. All right, so all I'm going to do is go in and do the exact same thing on this side that I did on that side. And I'm not going to do much talking. I'm just going to let you watch the process. I think I may need to go and get more rollers. And if I do, I'm just going to pause the video for a second and go run and get more rollers and come right back. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys about the proper clips next time. The roller clips that I was telling you that I prefer to use. I'm going to go a little bit more into detail with that next time because it is important to use the right tool for the right job. I am definitely a believer in that, okay? Because if you don't use the right tool for the right job, you may not get the end results that you want. And even if you do get the end results that you want, you may have to work a little bit harder at getting those end results. So that's why I feel like it's much, much better to use the right tool for the right job. This hair here is very, very uneven on the ends. So I'm having to use my fingers a little bit more to try to control it, but that's okay. I don't mind at all. Everything don't come so easy. As long as it doesn't affect my flow, then I'm good. Let me measure this really quick. Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get some more rollers. And the reason why I'm coming around on the side to clip it is because I don't want to disturb that roller. Okay, so now I'm gonna start dropping my base a little bit. Using a slightly smaller roller. Yeah, I know you see my product dripping off of my hand. That's because our hair is so saturated, and like I said, a little bit goes a long way. And I did use a little bit more than what I intended. Here, let me wipe. All right, that's better. Oh goodness, what is this? She has a cotton ball stuck to her hair, and I don't want to roll that. Okay, I got it off. All right. I need to drop that base just a little bit more. It's a little bit high. There we go. Yep, there we go. And clippy clip. And done. All right, so last panel. See, that didn't take too long, did it? It wasn't hard at all. Yeah, I moved this clip on this side. Oh, but I still have one on the other side, so I'm just going to remove that one. Let me see if I have a roller clip in here anywhere. Bam. There's a roller clip. I might as well use this opportunity now since I found another one. So this is a roller clip. This is a pin curl clip. This is what you call a double prong pin curl clip. This is what you call a single prong pin curl clip, but they're both made for pin curls, okay? This one is made for a roller. And the reason why it's made for a roller, because when you use it on a roller, it goes in and disappears. You see that? But if I was to take a pin curl clip and put it on a roller, you see how it sticks out? That's not made for that. Right tool for the right job. Okay? I just needed to put that out there. Okay. All right, but I'm going to secure this side of my roller with, because I need, it's so heavy. This hair on the front hairline is normally longer and heavier than the rest of it. And I'm talking about on doll hairs. I'm not talking about on every guest. So it wants to force itself forward. So I want to make it do what I want it to do and not what it wants to do. So I am going to secure that with that roller clip on this side. And now that'll allow me to continue to move on with my set. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna work this last section in the front. I know I'm kind of in an awkward area that you really can't see, and once I do this, so I'm gonna comb from here. When you've been doing this as long as I have, it doesn't matter which direction you're in. You can work. I mean, it's just it's what we call mind over matter. As long as you know what you're doing, it's easy to do it. So I'm going in, making sure all of my strands are nice and secure. Rolling down, down, down. Giving her complete volume in this area and secure it. I'm going to go into my second roller, making sure that I give her a little bit of half base. Smooth it, slide it and roll. Okay, come on down to the base. Clip it, clip. Got it? Come on in. Last one. Off base, no volume. Or should I say minimum volume. Little bit higher than that. I combed that one just a little bit too. I combed it down less than what I should have, or lower than what I should have. And that's the thing. That's why I love doing shampoo sets, because your hair will tell you if it's combed at the right angle or not. It'll tell you. And see, this is okay, so that's secured. I'm going to secure it on the other side too, because it's got a little droop to it. That's to make it nice and even. Okay, so when I turn her to the side, you see we have balance on both sides. You know, we have her roller here in the top. Yeah, that's a little bit heavy. I haven't cut her hair yet. This is a brand new doll head. So, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but it's a brand new doll head and I haven't cut her hair yet. So, and that clip was there. So yeah, you see, we have all of it rolled. Now she's ready to sit so she can dry. So my next video, I'll be showing you how to comb her out. Okay. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for wanting to learn. See how nice and smooth they are. Okay. Have a little bit of product on it, but that's okay. It's going to dry up. All right.